All right. Welcome to all of you for this weekend session of question and answer. Um, uh, we will begin this session with a small prayer and a small introduction, and then we'll start with the questions. So let us close our eyes. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our humble prostrations to this exalted Kriya Masters, this exalted lineage, to God Almighty, to all the masters of all spiritual paths, and we humbly bow down to all of you. Good morning, welcome. At today's session, as all of you are aware, we have three of us participating. We have from Brazil, we have Swami Ishwarananda Giri joining us. And from Miami, we have Swami Vairagyananda Giri and myself, Purnatmananda, also joining from Miami. We have quite a few questions, and we don't know if we'll be able to get through all of them. If we are not able to get through, we will merge those questions into the next question and answer session. So without further ado, we will start. The very first question here, pretty lengthy question. How do we not have resentment towards God in the face of so much suffering and difficulty around us? Illnesses, wars, poverty, disease, etc. How do we not hold it against God, hold anger when we see all this taking place, especially to our loved ones and community? How can we remain neutral and unattached in the face of all these things? How can we stay in joy and bliss in the face of all these things? I would request Swami Vairagyananda Giri to take this one on, and then we'll have Ishwarananda Giri share his views.
Yeah, pretty interesting question. So this is what I can think of, from your question. It looks like God has nothing to do to create the wars. And if you really look at the history, can you think of any time when there were no wars? Anytime you see there are war problems. Under the sun, a farmer is working and producing. And at the same time, under the sun, another person is fighting. So it is not the fault of the sun, but it is the person, how the person is engaged, right? So here, when the person is saying, how can we not have resentment towards God? But here I would like to quote a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. So that verse is from the chapter 5. The verse says, Na kartutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu. Na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. So what means in this verse where God is declaring, I am not really doer, or I do not engage myself in any activities of any person, and I also do not create the result of the action. It is svabhavastu pravartate, as per the nature of the person is getting the result. So whatever we see, the wars or any kind of mishap happening in the creation and the world, it is our own creation. So that is we have to mature our life as a humanity whole, so that we get rid of all this in the problems and ultimately we experience the peace.
Thank you,
This is what I would say, if you would like to add anything.
Yes, Ishwarananda Giri, would you like to add anything?
I just thought, for example, when you are a small child and you go to the doctor and you have to take some injection, vaccine, your mother holds your arm and the doctor comes and pierces you, and you start to cry and say, how cruel is doctor, and you get angry with him and you get upset with your mother because it's a violence against you. And then after some years that you grow up, you understand The doctor maybe saved my life, and my mother did for absolute love. It was not in a violent way or in a bad way that they treat me. It's as a good intention, and now I feel gratitude. What I'm telling is our understanding is very limited. The master says that this creation is a creation of perfection, and God is perfect, but we are not able to understand till now. So we should pray to God and say, God, till now my vision is not at that level that then I can understand everything as a perfect and harmoniously. Please help me to understand the situation. Not to reject that God is perfect. We are just not able now to understand God's perfection in every situation. But at least not to reject this, what we listen from the masters who have the perfect view. And slowly with our growing, we will understand this perfection in every situation, even in wars, even in worst case, everything, even not looking now, it's harmoniously. So we should grow up in that way. And another thing, whenever you have some situation that is from suffering, from misery or sadness that comes to your eyes or to your heart towards others, it's also a good opportunity for us to develop compassion. So even the situations that are not so good in the world have the purpose to bring more compassion, expansion in our hearts, and desire to serve, to love, and to be more and more a human being, perfect, a divine person. Everything is an opportunity to grow up and to be more connected with God, the one who knows what is good for every one of us.
Wonderful. Just a couple thoughts on that. We have, when we look at this creation, first of all, in theory, and this is the ultimate truth, at least we should understand the theory that this creation does not exist. All that we see is indeed an illusion, a maya. How to get there? First thing is practice. And you have the question that has been asked is, how can we stay in joy and bliss in the face of all these things? The key thing is practice. And practice will make us perfect. Practice will make us to be unperturbed, regardless of what situation is happening, whether it is in the world or a personal health issue or health issues around us or any kind of turmoil around us. And that brings about stability of the mind. And that's when we become unperturbed. So yet another perspective on that question. So the next question is, how do you personally cultivate joy, having fun, and a zest for life on a constant daily basis? I know that each of us is different. So what brings each of us joy will be different. However, I'm not asking from a perspective of seeking guidance, but rather from trying to find inspiration to find my joy through hearing about yours. I know practicing Kriya is a big part of it, but what else do you do? What mindset do you have? Swami Ishwarananda Giri, do you want to take this on for the first one?
Thank you. First, I think you should learn more jokes. Then you laugh more. I was maybe thinking in my life, what makes life more joyful? Be active with exercise, move your body, because you are generating and producing more hormones that helps in the experience of joy and happiness. And this brings the life more joyful. Prayer, because prayer connects us with the source of happiness, source of love. And more you are connected that, you feel that, you will experience that. Because you are asking about the Kriya practice, because the Kriya practice is the main thing to be connected with the joy. And another thing that I listened many times from Guruji when I was beginning my residence, my ashram life, everything for me looks very serious. Every day I had a problem that said, that is not solution anymore. That is the end. And then I will go to Guruji and ask, Baba, what should I do? And then he will laugh at me. And then every time he will tell this mantra to me, do not take life so seriously. Do exercise, meditate, pray, and do not take life so seriously. Everything comes, everything goes. Everything is temporary. So what to get entangled with things that are not pleasant, that are not proper or useful for us? Let it go. Guruji wrote a beautiful book. I just remember now. Everything should pass away.
Yeah, even this shall pass
It
away.
Even
also
this shall
pass.
pass away. Everything will pass. Keep smiling. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Swami Vairagyananda Ji?
So I think from this question, what I understand is the person is not really looking any specific guidance from us. He's looking like any kind of inspiration, right? So this is what
Inspiration. Yes, inspiration from us. How are we trying to stay in a constant state of joy? I think that's what this individual is.
Yeah, this is what I can think of. See, happiness is part of the mind, and mind is nothing but the thoughts. Depends upon what kind of thoughts you are getting, that will make you happy or unhappy. And how do you get the thoughts, and what do you feed into the mind, and then that will be output. And eventually, ultimately, what kind of thoughts are flowing into our life, that will make us happy or sad. Another thing, and you see in our day-to-day life, when we fly with certain kind of mood. Most of the time we are often moody, and it is not just one kind of mood. Different kinds of thoughts are coming according to our mood is changing. Why this kind of mood is coming, and sometimes suddenly you do not know why I feel sad or upset about. I do not know the cause. So what is happening is some kind of undercurrent thoughts that is very strong and it is flowing. Once a while it is coming up to the surface and giving us the kick, whether happiness or not, again it is going down. So this is the problem. Many of us go through these problems and we suffer. So the solution to this is to find some time for our own contemplation. Why I am bothered because of that particular thought? It's keep coming up, once again and again. So contemplation is needed, and it is needed to bring some, discipline, and then one can find eventually some change. Thank you. Your thoughts.
Thank you, Swamiji. When we look at, I think this individual is looking for what mindset do you have? And as both the Swamis have said here, what is my goal in life? And is my day-to-day activities and everything that I'm doing aligned with that goal? In between, there may be baby steps, smaller goals, and how am I aligned to that? Looking at that and doing everything that I do with joy. It could be as simple as cooking. It's gardening. I'm driving for grocery shopping. If I'm doing any activity, if I'm doing it as a burden, as a chore and not with happiness, automatically we are not in a good state. And all of this is, of course, coming back to reinforce, and it's going to be reinforced as the participant, as this individual has said. I know practicing Kriya is a big part of it. So the practice is key to keep us in that state always. And as Swamiji said, it is, everything is in the mind, and how, what kind of mindset we have, and positive thinking, optimistic way of thinking. And there are going to be a lot of negativities in the world and around us, etc., but staying positive is very, very important. So let us take the next question. We have it's slightly Kriya related, but maybe we can provide some guidance. I'm seeing many times a brilliant, fiery golden ball of light in my meditation with a ring around it. When I see it, I feel great love and peace. I want to stay there, but it fades. What am I seeing? Swami Vairagyananda Ji, you want to take that on?
Yeah, this is a good experience you are having, and you should feel happy that when you see the light. And when you do not see the light, also feel happy because light is seeing you. Means it is hiding under the cotton. But this is a good experience you have. Please continue the practice. This is a part of your experience. It comes and goes. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think we need any more elaboration on that. So we'll go to the next question. I have a question to the concentration points in our brain. What is the difference and result if I concentrate more in the pituitary, medulla oblongata, or in the fontanelle? Ishwarananda.
Thank you for the question. What normally we in Kriya Yoga learn from the masters that we do not concentrate exactly in parts of the brain, but in the chakras that are connected to these glands. And so Guruji describes in the Universe Within book that related to chakras that the soul center is connected to pituitary. And when you concentrate in the soul center in pituitary, you get control over the adversities of life, and you get immortality. When you concentrate in the pineal gland, that means in the fontanelle, it's more related, you will get wisdom and liberation. But really speaking, Guruji told this many times. Whenever you feel more comfortable to concentrate in one of these chakras, that is the kingdom of heaven, you are okay. And do not think too much about glands and the benefits, but just take your attention there without expectation, and everything will come to you. Thank you for the question. Beautiful.
Thank you. Vairagyananda, do you have anything else to add?
So when I read the question, what you read the question, the person is asking what is the difference and result. If I concentrate more in the pituitary, the person is basically saying, if I concentrate, it is not where you want to concentrate. For example, if you don't get sick, if you get sick, you don't decide what medicine you want to take. It is the doctor to decide, right? So in this case, the gurus have decided where to concentrate. And the three locations you have mentioned, they are in three different places. Of course, where you concentrate, it is a big thing. Either you concentrate on the lower chakras or you concentrate on the higher chakras. Accordingly, you get the experience, right? So follow the instruction that is given to you from the gurus or from the teachers. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful advice. So we take on the next question. During the beginning of practicing Kriya, is it possible that it may shift energies where feelings and emotions may appear challenging at first, almost like deeply buried samskaras arise to the surface? Of course, I ask this since this was experienced upon beginning Kriya. If so, may you provide further wisdom. This is a beautiful question, and this is something that we mention to most new initiates. Yes, with any kind of meditative practice, especially with Kriya, any meditation, Kriya meditation is about cleansing the astral body, cleansing the memory, the mind aspect of it. So and as a part of this cleansing, yes, in the beginning phases of our practice, it is very natural for deeply buried issues, negativity, or positive even, all to come up. And that is the process of meditation, to clean. And some of you who are not familiar with making steel or gold, the metal, what is done is you basically boil this pot, a crucible, a clay pot, in which all of these metal pieces are. You boil it, it becomes liquid, and then it has dirt in there, impurities, and you put certain chemicals, and the dirt floats to the top. You remove that dirt, and you repeat this process again and again, and until when there is no dirt coming up to the top, and eventually you have pure gold or pure steel. And it's the same thing with meditation, that you keep on doing this, and gradually the mind begins to settle down. And so not to get worried or agitated if hidden thoughts, deep samskaras, etc., are coming up to the fore. Swami Ishwarananda, you want to take a shot at adding any comments?
Just adding that it's part of it, and not just in beginning of meditation, that you continue, because it's our goal to clean, to purify. And this purification may reflect in these disturbing thoughts. Do not create expectation in your meditation punctually. And do not judge your meditation. There is no bad meditation. Even if the mind is disturbed, know that you are going deeper. You are cleaning your mind. Every meditation is a good meditation. Many people on the path of Kriya gave up meditation because of that. Oh, I'm getting worse thoughts. I'm not getting good inspiration. It's part of the cleaning. Be happy in any meditation. Do not judge. Let the masters judge and be happy. It's working. It's working. Move on. Thank you.
Wonderful. We'll take on the next question. I have a question about sex and Kriya Yoga. Is abstinence recommended even for people in long-term relationships? That is the question. Swami Vairagyananda Giri, you want to take this on?
Well, the Kriya really doesn't talk about any kind of abstinence. It is mostly meant for the monastics, those who live a dedicated life for them. But what is advised is here is the moderation. That is the most important part of our life, not only in this aspect relationship, but in every aspect. Moderation is very important. But to maintain a life of moderation, we have to have the higher goal. If you do not have a higher goal, again, mind will be more drawn into the low tendencies. So that's what I would like to say. Please bring the moderation in the life and focus more on what you like to become in the future, basically to lead a peaceful life.
Beautiful, beautiful answer. Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. So the next question is, please define soul, spirit, and elaborate on any differences. Swami Ishwarananda Giri, you want to answer this?
I think there's some different understandings about it. What I understand in our Vedic way of understanding our Kriya, soul and spirit, there is not much difference. Normally, we use interchange soul or sometimes spirit, but if you look at the Christian tradition, it's a little bit different. Normally, when they speak about soul, they are talking about the mind. Mm-hmm. And when they're talking about the spirit, they are talking about the soul. For our understanding, soul and spirit, for my understanding, is interchangeable. But when you read, for example, Christian books or some interpretations in the Christian view, when you read soul, understand as a mind. And when you read the spirit, understand as a soul in our Vedic concept. This is how I understand. Maybe you have another views.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Vairagyananda Giri, do you want to say something?
Sometimes spirit is used as alcohol or like ghost, right? But what we have heard from Gurudev and Guruji, the spirit has come from the root word spiritus, that means breath. So if we hold on to the spirit, if we hold on to the breath, that will lead us ultimately to realize the spirit, which is the soul, and soul is, like Satchit Ananda. That is our ultimate experience. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yourself, anything from you? You are only giving us.
Yes, I think
you start. Some question you start.
Yes, I will do that. So I'll take on the next one. The next question it's a two-part question. Actually, it's three parts, but the second and third part are very similar. Is the astral body eternal? And my answer is no. For a person who becomes realized, they are able to basically dissolve the astral body. And the astral body, as for those of us who are not aware, it's made up of the energy channels, also known as nadis, of which there are thousands of them. And the critical thing that the astral body is made up of is the mind. So if you're not able to completely dissolve the mind, then realization is not possible at all. So in realization, the astral body is dissolved, and eventually when the master ascends, there is no astral body and they become one with the cosmic creator. So, and I'll, before I go into the next part of it, I will open this up to Swami Ishwarananda Giri if you want to add anything.
No, that's it. Thank God the astral body is not eternal.
Okay, so this is what I would like to add. Usually,
yes, please.
When people die, basically they leave the physical body, but they carry the subtle body and the causal body. But when one experience, when one realize the truth, when realize the self, one basically dissolve the astral body and causal body, then reach the soul.
Wonderful.
And it is not eternal, as you said.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So the next part of it, actually, it's two pieces. May a person who is a Dalit receive Kriya initiation? Is it possible for a Dalit Kriyavan be ordained as a Swami in the Giri order? And for those of us, for our Kriyavans and non-Kriyavans who are on this call, Dalit is basically a term used in India to mean an untouchable and a certain category of people. And so this individual is asking, hey, is Kriya initiation particularly for certain kind of people? And the answers to this is, forget about Dalit. Kriya Yoga is a completely secular path open to all people of all faiths and paths. And even if the person does not have a spiritual path, Kriya Yoga is open. And so surely enough to answer this question, yes, anybody who is a Dalit or any belonging to any caste, creed, whatever, can receive Kriya initiation. That's the first thing. Is it possible for a Dalit Kriyavan to become ordained as a Swami? Yes, there are. And the beauty about the Swami, one has to recognize, and this probably people need to know, once we become a monastic, all past associations with who we were is completely abandoned. You have no religion, no belonging to any particular caste, nothing. And you can look in our own lineage, and this person is bringing about this demarcation of Dalit, etc. And you can look in our own lineage. Not everybody in the masters is a particular of a particular caste or religion, and you can see, for example, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, great master who brought Kriya Yoga to the West. He was not a Brahmin, nor was his guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar. So likewise, any Dalit, anybody from any spiritual leaning can become a Swami and even greater. So that is my answer. Swami Vairagyananda, since you have an Indian background, do you want to take this on also and add?
Yeah. Basically, this particular word, Dalit, has been politicized a lot in India.
Very
and
true.
Especially the British played the trick to divide the society and to rule. And they introduced this Dalit concept into certain section of the people. And but if you really look at the scripture, you don't find this.
Right.
And Bhagavad Gita, which is the most popular scripture, that talks about the four types of the caste, which is not based on any particular family background. It is based on the guna and karma. It is based on your own skill and your own talent. And so this is what I would like to say. Who is a Dalit? One who has less self-confidence in himself or herself. And if you look at our life, any day, if you feel you have less confident, means you are a Dalit. Means you do not want to fight for yourself. And when you want to fight for yourself, you will be called a Kshatriya or the warrior. Right? But whoever asks this question, this has been politicized a lot in India. But nowadays, it is slowly going away from the life of people, because as people grow economical, this concept will be vanished.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. And I think this politicized is a very, very important term. And this politicized has been is the right word, because that is being used by modern politicians and people in society to come to power and attract the vote bank and all this good stuff. And associated with that is many other things. So we'll not go into that. The next question we have is, can a regular and successful Kriya Yoga practice help relieve practitioners from psychological complexes, including inferiority complex, lack of confidence, and social anxiety issues? Beautiful question. I think this is very relevant, especially in modern society where there's so much of this stuff. And yes, absolutely. The answer to this is Kriya Yoga definitely helps, because what is Kriya Yoga doing? It is a meditative path. It is scientific, and it is basically tackling the meditation is about tackling the mind. And all of these things that have been mentioned, inferiority complex, lack of confidence, social anxiety issues, are all basically issues of the mind. Once we gain steady, slow practice and mastery over the mind, we are able to transcend all of these issues. And yes, Kriya Yoga is, as Gurudev says, the best, surest, quickest path to not only realization, to overcome all of these things. It's a beautiful path. Swami Ishwarananda, you want to add anything more?
No, thank you. It's beautiful, and our path, our tool for removing all this garbage from our minds, it's so beautiful and powerful. We are eliminating one whole family that is described in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. And the mother is avidya, ignorance. So our goal is to remove completely the ignorance during our meditation, during our path. And the outcome, the side effect of our practice to remove the ignorance is to remove all these perceptions of negativities and psychological complex that comes from ego, dualities in life, and fear. Everything is eliminated. We are aiming to remove completely the ignorance of our lives. But on the path of this, we'll get rid of all these things that are harmful in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question is coming from Italy. Good morning. Go ahead, Swamiji. You have something to add, please.
Because this question, when you read the question, this has really a huge significance. If you look at the society today, and what I have heard, 70% of the population in the United States live on this kind of life, and this is something called the survival mode, which is mostly the animals live on survival mode. The moment you live on the survival mode means you have a lot of fear, anxiety, and stress. Basically, you do not have any kind of creativity. And from the yogic point of view, if you see your pranic, the energy body or the pranic body is completely disturbed, it's not organized at all. So the solution given by the gurus, and especially such Patanjali, he gave a solution of pranayama. And while explaining the effectiveness of pranayama, he basically quoted a verse, the sutra is dharana sucha yogyata manasaha. Dharana means the willpower, and the yogyata means the ability. Manas means the mind. When you practice pranayama, it will give you a lot of confidence and the willpower. And using that willpower, you can be free from all this, the stress, anxiety, and all those related problems. And yoga is the path. I'd like to suggest you to practice a little bit more pranayama, and very quickly you will find the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So our next question is coming from Italy, and he says, "Good morning, my friends. I have a question. While sitting in meditation, I often experience a strange, bothering, tingling sensation on my head or scalp. How can I address that? With many thanks." I got first Kriya initiation a few months ago from a Dutch Yogacharya from our Europe Center, and he mentions the name. Vairagyananda, you want to address this?
Okay, from this question, what I understand is it could be because of various other factors. The tingling sensation, sometimes people may get the sensation because of some kind of, the digestive issues or some kind of constipation. But in terms of Kriya practice, make sure that you practice the technique correctly. The second thing is, while practicing, don't hold the breath longer. Maybe 3 to 4 seconds max you can hold. And another thing you can see, if you, while practicing the Kriya Pranayama, if one nose is blocked, and you force yourself, you get some kind of sensation. So please watch, how you practice, and if it is needed, please go and talk to any teacher personally, whether it is related to the practice.
Thank you, Swamiji. Wow. Let's go on to the next question. I work full time in an office and also other householder responsibilities. Sitting for a good part of the day, I find it hard to stay fit. I'm finding difficulty to commit to practice entire sequence twice a day. How to motivate, inspire myself to be regular, and how to deepen my practice. What are practical methods I can try to achieve my goal of full year going without missing a time in a day? This is a common issue where, again, we come back to the mind. The mind is willing to make excuses so that we don't have to practice. And that is the weakness. And the simple Kriya practice itself, when practiced properly and adequately, will help you stay fit. In addition, it is good. The simplest thing that one can do is just go for a walk, 1 mile, 2 mile, whatever you can afford every day before you sit for Kriya meditation. And in terms of Kriya practice, we have said that the Kriya practice of this techniques that has been taught can be practiced in 30 to 35 minutes. So there is no excuse. If we are not able to make 30 to 35 minutes in our daily routine once, at least once, preferably twice a day, that means to say something is not right in the way I'm living my life and the way things are being scheduled in my life. So I need to take a serious look at my life and see how I can make available 30 to 35 minutes 2 times a day. That's 1 hour. We as we analyze our routine, we see that we are wasting time on so many things, useless things. And that is what is called, that's a part of the self-analysis that we have to do. It's not only analyzing what are my weaknesses, but here is a weakness, saying, how is my mind exploiting me, finding every loophole to make sure that I don't practice. Today it is, oh, I'm hungry, I don't want to practice. Oh, I'm going to eat. Then after that, I feel, okay, I have eaten, so I'm not going to practice. Tomorrow it is, oh, I'm watching this TV, I need to watch this. Or tomorrow I have to go shopping. So some excuse or the other, the mind is going to give, and it's going to derail our practice. It is important that we set an alarm saying, okay, I'm going to get up at this time, meditate 30 minutes, same thing in the evening. This is my meditation time. Regardless of what it is, I commit to and practice. And if you are, for example, if you have a wife, a husband, etc., team up together, or friend in society who is another Kriya one, team up together, meditate together. That's even better. That way, each of you support each other. And in some areas, in some centers, they have like a WhatsApp group saying, at this time of the morning, we are sending a WhatsApp message. All of us are going to sit for meditation in your own home. You're not collecting or gathering at a particular venue, but this is a reminder that everybody is meditating together at the same time. Swami Ishwarananda, you want to add to this?
I just have one thought that maybe you are put too much pressure on yourself and creating a feeling of responsibility, like a burden on you. I have to meditate twice a day and I have no time. And this may create more aversion or difficulties to meditate. So what I would suggest is negotiate with your mind. Sometimes you are more tired, say, okay, I will sit and I will meditate for 5 minutes. And then sit, do one bow. And then normally what happens when you tell the mind, today we are going to meditate less. And you do one bow. And when you come back, oh, I'm feeling good. And then you can continue. But do not put this pressure. I have to meditate this time twice a day. Go slowly, bring this light, more light experience or to your meditation. Let this meditation be joyful. It's a time that you are going to release the tension of the day. You are going to be in a little bit of silence to renew your battery. So adjust with your day. But this is beautiful what you say, that I want to have this vow of not missing a single day. And that is the most important. Then let's adjust during the day. Okay, I will do every day, twice a day. If it's 5 minutes and then 2 minutes at night, or if it's 30 minutes and 1 hour, let it flow. And then the joy will come to your meditation. And then you will feel the desire to meditate more and more and more. And the other things will not to look to you as a priority. The meditation will be priority, but bring this joy. Do not look at the meditation as a burden or as a responsibility. Oh, I promise in the initiation I have to meditate twice a day. I have to. No, it's a moment of relaxation and adjust. Maybe you'll feel better. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is 3 questions rolled into one, in the sense, I think it's by one person. How the gurus help the disciple on a spiritual path is the first question. And along the same lines, how to get guidance from the masters when they are not in the body. The third one is a technique question. We'll come to that later on. So these 2 questions, if Swami Vairagyananda Ji, if you want to take this on.
Okay, so if you really look at, for example, you came for the Kriya initiation. During the time of Kriya initiation, you might have gone through certain kind of higher experience, right? And that higher experience comes from a particular source. From that, you know that you can get the guidance from certain higher source, and that the gurus represent that higher source, right? And should I answer the second question, Purnatmanji, and then you can go ahead afterwards?
Sure, please.
Okay. The second question, how long you want to stay in Paravastha? The Paravastha can actually happen anytime during the meditation, not just you finish your Kriya and then you can go into Paravastha. Paravastha can happen at any time during the meditation. Whenever you feel inner calmness, you sit for some time. For example, you do want the take Kriya bow, you feel calmness, sit for some time. That is also considered Paravastha. But if you set the time, how long you want to sit, then mind will start to wander, right? So just be mindful about that. And your last question is how to get the guidance from the masters when they are not in the physical body. First of all, I would like to suggest you, when they are not in the physical body, that's a different story. When the masters are in the physical body, please get some guidance that will help you to have the proper, the proper establishment in your life. When the guru is in the physical body, find time to spend some time more and more. So what has been suggested is, as long as the guru is in the physical body, make sure that you have found a strong food for yourself. And that is the inspiration for the rest of the life, when the guru is in the physical body or not in the physical body.
Thank you, Swamiji. I just want to add, just remember, when you talk about gurus, be it in the physical body and especially those who are not in the physical body, the guru is eternal. Just because they are not in the physical body does not mean to say that they cannot access this plane of existence and that they cannot help. That is why it is stated that meditating early in the morning is really powerful and very useful, because there is guidance from masters who have left their body and other spiritual beings. When they see you meditating, there'll be blessings and grace. So, and in terms of masters who are not in the body, just thinking of them, remembering them, meditating, praying to them, humbly asking them for help, automatically, slowly, you will develop a connection to these masters. A classic example, if you were to go to Forest Lawn Cemetery in Los Angeles, where the body of Paramahansa Yogananda Ji is buried, sit there, meditate, you'll feel his presence. With that, let's go to the next question.
I just remember a story, as you mentioned, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji. This is a story about a person. Paramahansa Yogananda Ji left his body, and there was another monk. He was traveling from India. He was in Europe. This person asked this question, and this person was a disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda Ji. He asked this question to him that when his Guru Paramahansa Yogananda Ji was in the physical body, he was having a great experience in the meditation. Now his Guru Yogananda Ji has left his body. He's not getting that inspiration. And the person was very funny. Person looked at him. I think you misunderstood your Guru. What do you mean? Guru never lives in the physical body. Though Guru has a moving body, Guru always lives in the soul.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just popped across.
Yeah.
Right.
Next one is about the 4 states of consciousness. I have a question regarding the 4 states of consciousness. I understand that waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states are natural states, but how about Turiya state? Would you please provide your insights about the 4th state? Does the divine sound even continue in the Turiya state or not? So, first of all, I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question because I have not experienced the Turiya state. So, but the limited thing that I can answer is that the Turiya state is beyond sound and all the triple divine qualities. That much is for certain. You're merged into the divine. So it is beyond all the 3 states, and that's why it's called the 4th state. So it is beyond even divine sound. And with that, I will pass this on to probably our loving Swamijis here. Maybe they have the experience of Turiya state and can explain a little bit more. Vairagyananda Ji, you want to say something?
Yeah, as you said, Turiya state really cannot be, described. It is indescribable. For example, a person who is a dumb and tastes some nice sweet, how is he going to express? Like in the scriptural language, it's a mukha aswadana bhat. A mukha who is a dumb and having some nice food taste, but is not able to explain, just giving some kind of hints. This is what experiencing. And the question that says whether does the divine sound even continue in the Turiya state or not. So if you look at all the triple divine qualities that in Kriya we experience sound, light, and the vibration, the light is connected to the physical body, sound is connected to the subtle body, and the vibration to the causal body. And when you hear the sound will guide you further, and it will be modified in the deeper state of meditation, or you can say in the Turiya state. So, of course, sound will guide you further. So here there is the verse. I think it is either from Shiva Samhita or another Yogic Upanishad, or maybe it is explained in both the scripture. So the verse says, "Anahatasya shabdasya tasya sabdasya yo dhonihi dhonir antargata jyotihi jyotir antargata manah tan mana vilayam yati sa Vishnu paramam padam." I think this is the verse from that book. So what it says, "Anahatasa sabdasa tasya sabdasa yo dhoni." When you in your meditation, when you experience the sound, this sound is nothing but the subtle form of the vibration. And as you march forward with that experience, that subtle form of the vibration will merge into the light. And as you move further into the light, it says that is the source of the mind. And as you penetrate into the source of the mind, as here it says, tan mano vilayam yati, your mind will dissolve. Then you get into that higher state of experience. Yes, the divine sound will guide you further.
Thank you, Swamiji. The next question, I know we are getting closer. We want to do a little short guided meditation here, general meditation, but let's take on maybe at least another 1 or 2 questions. I was initiated in August 2023 and have uninterrupted practice since then twice a day, once in the morning and once in the night. During colder months, I get allergies and I think it affects my pranayama. So when I sneeze, I just sneeze and keep going, but then I feel like I did it wrong, so I do it again, another cycle. Is this correct? Or is it okay that we sneeze during the pranayama? So I used to see a halo at the end of my practice, and now I don't anymore. How do I know that I'm progressing in my practice? How can I stay longer in meditation? I'm so grateful to the acharyas and gurus and all of you. So clearly, this is a nice question. We don't want you to hold on to your sneezing or try to prevent your sneezing. By all means, if you're practicing and you have to sneeze, not only sneeze, some people may get the call of nature during practice. What do you do? break the practice, go take care of the call of nature, come back and start the practice again. Same thing with the sneezing. If you sneeze, allow the body to expel whatever object is there, or relieve itself of the irritation that is there in the nostrils. Sneeze, no problem. And then sit down and continue the pranayama. Either you start from the beginning of a pranayama and continue. That's what you would suggest. In terms of seeing the halo or light, etc., at the end of practice and not able to see it anymore, Guruji even explains this in the small book which has been given to you during the initiation, which says Practical Guidelines for New Initiates. It's a small blue book that is given to you as a part of the initiation packet. These three triple divine qualities may come and go. Sometimes they will stay steady and sometimes they will disappear and come back again. So don't worry, continue practicing. And the next two questions, I'll pass it on to Vairagyananda Ji, if you want to take a shot at this. How do I know that I'm progressing in my practice? And Ishwarananda Ji, if you can take on how can I stay longer in meditation?
So you're asking me the first question, progressing.
First question. Practice? Yes.
Okay, there are various ways you can measure whether you are progressing in your practice. First thing, if you get the inspiration to practice daily, that means you are getting some joy out of practice. That means you are progressing. There are various other ways. Gurudev says, if you hear the sound regularly, that means you are going in a spiritual path. If you feel cheerful in your day-to-day life, that means you are growing on the spiritual path. Like that way, there are various ways you can measure, whether you are growing. But sometimes you feel that you may not be growing. So sometimes it may be the mental projection. But whatever the case may be, please continue to practice, and eventually you will feel the real progress.
Thank you.
Well, just one addition for that is also very practical understanding if you are growing in your meditation, is if you're becoming a better person in the world. You are more tolerant, you are having a little bit more patience, you are forgiving more, you are smiling more. So how is your daily life? It will show if your meditation is growing. It's not necessarily only by spiritual experiences, but in your daily life, it can show a lot how you're progressing and how you can meditate longer. In a very practical way, if your body permits, repeat some techniques. Watch more your breath, go slower in each practice, more concentrate. But above all, bring love in your meditation, bring prayer, bring this connection with the masters, bring this sweetness in your meditation, and you have desire to be more, to continue and longer. And slowly you get more with the experience, more practical, your body will be more used to, you'll be easy to go longer in your meditation. But let go naturally and slowly, do not force too much.
Thank you so much. This next question is very, very long, so I'm going to read it. Please bear with me. Pranams, please forgive my ignorance or misunderstanding. I was wondering if the Acharyas could speak a little bit about the role of Ishta Devata in Kriya practice, particularly as someone coming from a Western cultural orientation. Would a figure like, for example, Hanumanji or Sri Rama be seen as a model for one's personal behavior? Or are these more like transcendental figures that one prays to or hopes to become one with through meditation? From a Western view, we often do not think of God as a figure that we can hope to emulate. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, we can't really ever hope to become like God. We can only pray to him and hope that he will favor us with his blessings. On the other hand, we might look to someone like St. Francis or a great rabbi as an inspiration for our own personal behavior, even if we might not pray to them for anything or consider them as in any way equivalent to God. What then is the Kriya view? Is the Ishta Devata someone whose blessings we hope to invoke or whom we hope to become one with in meditation? Or do we look to them as a personal model for our own spiritual lives? That is the question. So, Swami Vairagyananda Ji, you want to take this on? and then we'll add views.
Yeah, this is quite a bit long question, and the person has mentioned about the Ishta Devata. This is a concept usually people, those are from the background, those are from India, they have this concept of Ishta Devata. So here, this is what I would like to say. So in the understanding from the Indian point of view, for example, if you want to reach out to the president of India, a president of a country, it is very difficult to directly reaching out to the president of the country. But if you know some other officials, through them, you can reach out finally to the president. So Ishta Devata is a kind, chosen deity who is supposed to favor your wish, right? And basically, you take the support of some the localized god to reach the supreme Brahman, and some mantra is given to invoke, that power. And in the Judeo-Christianity, we have the concept of God the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Son. So here, the concept of the Holy Spirit, you can call it the Ishta Devata. And if you have that strong faith, that can take a form and appear in your meditation. But those who have come into Kriya path, if you're practicing Kriya, a mantra is given to you, either mantra Om or other mantras, right? So you take the support of Om. Om is both the Saguna and Nirguna. Om is having some attribute and attributeless, both, right? So don't, if you're not that background, don't worry about it. Whatever has been given to you, please continue the practice. And if you have some trust on any particular god, and you can come and talk to the teacher and get the mantra also.
Wonderful. Thank you, Swamiji. I just want to add, in terms of the Kriya view, it doesn't matter whether from what spiritual path or faith you are, even though you may be in the Judeo-Christian tradition. For example, Jesus Christ can be your Ishta Devata. Mother Mary can be your Ishta Devata. And remember, ultimately, it is God absolute consciousness. And that consciousness descends into various forms. And these are all basically, you can call them as avatar or incarnations. So whether it's Christ or Lord Rama or Lord Hanuman, and they are much more spiritual, much more powerful, and masters, etc. And so we are looking to them as for help in terms of transcending this world of Maya and trying to eventually get to the point where we merge into that same consciousness, because that is what we are. In reality, we are the soul, we are the spirit, formless, eternal beings. So thank you very much for that question. And then we have a couple minutes before we close, but we'll take one more question, and that will leave one last question. So my meditation practice has rooted itself more in daily activity over the past 3 weeks. I first noticed it when picking up my walking pace to cross a busy downtown street. I could feel a dislocation of energy from feet to head. This feeling intensified daily to a climax where in daily walking meditation, to keep steady, it was necessary to focus my focus on the ground and attention in the fontanel. As days passed, I became accustomed to this disorientation and maintained patience. It then transformed into an intensified opening of the heart and increased the thoughtlessness states. The intense moments of my disorientation have subsided mostly now and mildly appear when in crowds of people. My response to balance is the same: eyes on the ground, attention on the fontanel. I would like to kindly ask your perspective on this happening. I would just basically suggest that if you're a new practitioner to Kriya, continue practicing, and there are certain things that we would have suggested in terms of practicing certain techniques. Even you're walking, practice those techniques and continue practicing. If Swami Ishwarananda, you have anything to add about this, please feel free.
Yeah, but also we have to be very practical. When we are in the world, we have to do some techniques to become aware, but our main attention should be in the world. And another aspect is Kriya will never bring any negative result in you. So for example, if you are not feeling okay, you are feeling dizzy, or you are feeling out of balance, it's not, I don't think it's related to the Kriya practice. It may be related to some other issue you may have been passing through. So be aware, please look at this, analyze if you are still feeling that. But the main thing, when you are eyes closed, meditate deeply your techniques. When your eyes open, more attention in the world. Of course, a little bit of attention in the fontanelle on your breath, but more attention in what you are doing with efficiency. Yoga karma sukha shalam. Yoga meditation is also to bring perfection in everything you do. Let be cross the street, let be talk with people, let be cooking, anything is meditation. If you do with the intention of doing perfectly and fully attentive. So this is also meditation. Eyes closed, full attention inside, eyes open, most of attention outside, and some attention in God. That is also part of our Kriya meditation in practical way. But Kriya doesn't bring any harmful experience in our lives.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. This brings us to our close. We have already gone past 1 minute, but we will take 5 minutes and have a small extra 5 minutes because we started 1 minute late. So that's 1 minute plus 4 minutes of interest. So Swami Vairagyananda will guide us through a small general meditation for 5 minutes. There is one question that we have not answered, and that is very technique related, and we will respond to that question directly by email. Thank you very much, and we enjoyed having your presence, and we send our love to all of you. We are grateful to all of you. May God and Gurus bless all of us, and Happy New Year, and belated Merry Christmas to all of you. Jai Guru. And Swami Vairagyananda, can you do a quick guided meditation, general meditation for 5 minutes?
Maximum 2 hours, Vairagyananda.
Maximum
2 hours.
Okay, thank you all for participating in the QA and program today, and thank you for all our monks for beautifully answering all the questions. So let us sit straight and close your eyes. Keep your spine straight. Bring your concentration in between the two eyebrows. Please observe your breath. Each inhalation, each exhalation. Please watch. While observing the breath, try to see, feel who is really pulling the breath. What is that power constantly pulling the breath in me? Breath awareness slowly will lead to the soul awareness. Each conscious breath helps us one step forward. Let us ask this question to ourselves. What is that question that has been asked for ages? Just one question. Koham, who am I? That is the question to be asked. Let us ask this question to ourselves till we find the answer. Then there will be no more questions to be asked. Let us pray to God. Let us pray to the masters to help us in our journey and ultimately to find the answer to that question. Thank you all. Let the blessings of God and the Gurus be upon everyone. Thank you all. I bow to all of you. Om.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. We bow
Thank
to
you
you, all
all.
of you.
Have a good
Thank
week to all. Thank you for the
Many
presence
blessings.
and the questions.
In the chatting box, I do not know, probably there are some things here and there.
I did go through most of them, so I don't think there are any questions from there.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.
Obrigado.